Okay, take 3. Hello Project Runway, my name is Stephanie Miles. I am from Memphis, Tennessee. I'm 25 years old. I went to the University of Tennessee and I am a flight attendant. I started making clothes about 6 or 7 years ago when I developed a love for fashion. A love so extravagant that I could not afford it, so I had to learn how to make the beautiful clothes that I wanted to wear. I've always known how to sew, but I just started making clothes. I would sew things like blankets or quilts or things like that, but I just knew that I could make clothes if I really tried. And guess what? I could, and I loved it. And you know, I thought they were cute, but when other people thought they were cute, I was like, okay, well maybe I'm a little bit better than what I thought. So I like to think that I specialize in women's ready-to-wear, evening wear, formal wear, custom couture wear is what some people call it. But I love making clothes so much so that I became a flight attendant so that I could fly to different parts of the world and buy fabric from all over the place and make clothes. How crazy is that? So I'm a flight attendant right now. In January, I went to Paris to buy fabric so that I could participate in New York Fashion Week 2016 and buy, uh, so, uh, I'm sorry, disregard all of that. Anywho, so I went to Paris to buy fabric in January so that I could participate in New York Fashion Week in February of 2016. And I did that, and I loved it. It was so stressful, but I would do it over and over again. I sewed all the way up until the minute before my first piece went out onto the runway, and it made me so happy. I would just love to spend the rest of my life doing that. I've done a few fashion shows, and every time I say I'm never gonna do it again, and then right after it's over I'm like, okay, I want to do that again. As far as where I've gone in my fashion career, I've worked for a small boutique, and what I would like to do is eventually work for myself, run my own business full-time, and have a storefront boutique in New York, in Atlanta, somewhere in California, and maybe if I'm successful, one in Paris. That's what my dream goal is to do. Or not to limit myself, to work on a movie set for a timepiece like Elizabeth or Elizabeth the Gilded Age, or any type of timepiece period movie where I can make clothes from the Victorian era or the Edwardian era, because I feel like those clothes were supreme garments and they took real skill. And I feel like a lot of clothes today, the modern wear, don't require any technique or any actual talent. I would like to make clothes like that. Anything like that brings me joy. I feel like Project Runway would help me in my career as far as startup money for my business, and it would also give me a certain amount of exposure that I don't think that anyone could really afford to pay for. I would love to work for a fashion house like Dior or Chanel or Balmain, Elisab, or Zach Posen. Zach, if you're watching, call me. Anywho, it would just be a really big dream come true if you would consider me to be on Project Runway. And I hope you like my pieces, and I hope you call me. Thank you so much for your time. Again, I'm Stephanie Miles. Hello Project Runway. Goodbye Project Runway.